is refrigerator. Refrigerators are an essential at homes and industries for protecting food by maintaining cold temperatures. Thermodynamics and energy transfer are both fundamental concepts in the physics behind their operation to ensure that the food will remain fresher for longer. Now, let's look into the refrigerator cycle. Step 1. Refrigerant compress. All parts of the refrigerator play a role in the cooling process, but the cycle begins in the compressor. Refrigerant vapor is drawn into the compressor where it is compressed and released at higher temperature and pressure. Step 2. Hot air push out. The compressor pushes the vapor into the condenser coils on the outside of the refrigerator where it exchanges its heat with the incoming room air. The compressor is an integral part of the cooling process. Next, for step 3, refrigerant becomes a liquid. When the hot gas in the condenser coils meets the cooler air temperature in the kitchen, it will become a liquid. For step 4, refrigerant flows into evaporator coils. The refrigerant, which is now a liquid, will cool down as it flows into the evaporator coils inside the fridge. Next, step 5, heat is absorbed. The heat inside the refrigerator is then absorbed by the refrigerant, which will cool the air and the refrigerator's contents. Next, step 6, refrigerant evaporates. The refrigerant evaporates to a gas and flows back to the compressor. Lastly, step 7, cycle repeats. The refrigerator is a sealed system, so once the refrigerant gas flows back to the compressor, the cycle is repeated. The repetition of the cycle helps the refrigerator to maintain a constant cool.
The second law of thermodynamics was applied in principle of refrigerator. The second law of thermodynamics states that it is impossible for heat to flow spontaneously from cold body to hot body unless there is work done on it. It is also same as the closest statement that states that heat will always flow spontaneously from hotter substances to colder substances. The refrigerator works by transferring heat from cold region inside the refrigerator to the hot regions outside the refrigerator, and this makes the cold regions even cooler. So this is how refrigerator cools our food, and we also often feel the hot air was blown out of their fans. So, as I mentioned earlier, the second law of thermodynamics states that to make the heat flow from cold to hot object, it must have the work done on it. So, for refrigerator, the additional energy that are used to transfer the heat from cold to hot region is first the electrical energy. So the electrical energy is the power supply to powers the compressor that are responsible to compress the refrigerant gas. And the second energy is mechanical energy. So the compressor will convert the electrical energy to mechanical energy by compress the refrigerant gas. And the third energy is the thermal energy. So the thermal energy was extracted from inside the fridge. For the picture on the left, it shows that the refrigerator takes some heat from the cold reservoir and does some work on it, and then it rejects some heat to the hot reservoir. For the right picture, the net effect of the refrigerator is to make the cold reservoir colder. So by removing the heat from it and moving the heat to the hot reservoir. So basically the refrigerator is a heat engine that runs in reverse. So to know how well our refrigerator works, to know how well our refrigerator can cool our food, we can calculate the coefficient of performance.